That was a lot of work and talking, well, at least on my behalf. We're almost at the end of this section, but I want to show you how VueJs integrates with the developer tools that I showed you earlier. As it turns out, we actually get some pretty useful information and help from it. I have reverted some of the changes from the previous lecture, so now we have a working application again. That just involved no longer committing the root mutation, but instead the local one. So I'll open up the browser's console and go to the View tab. And within this developer tool, we can find a VueJs tab over here on the right hand side. What you see here is the current state of the application, along with its getters and the values they return at this particular point in time. While that's useful in itself, watch what happens when I click the login button. Now you can see that the state of the application changes. We can see the mutation that was committed on the right hand side and that no payload was passed along with it. Now we can change between the base state and the state after the mutation was applied by simply clicking the two. Notice how the visuals of the application does not change. That's because we're inspecting the state of the application at a particular point in time. We're not changing the state. If I log out, we can switch between the states of when we are logged in and out. So let's do that. So let's try to switch between these states. Now here comes something extremely cool. If I hover my mouse over the states, I get some options. Notice what happens when I click time travel for the logged in states. We are now logged back in, and if I do the same for the logged out states, we are, well, logged out. Not only do we see the state on the right hand side of the tool, but the visuals of the application also changes to what it was at that state of the application. That's because when using the time travel feature, we're no longer just viewing the state, but actually seeing the application with that state. So we can move between states and see how the application looked at a particular point in time. Probably more importantly though, we can then inspect any changes in the states between performing some action. This greatly reduces the need to log things to the console, adding alerts and the like. It's true that there are some other tools that you could use for debugging, but this one is so integrated with Vue and it gives you a powerful way to debug and inspect your application. We also get the ability to revert changes to the state or to commit them. So I can just try to revert this logout action, or rather mutation. And I can try to commit this login action. Like I mentioned in a previous lecture, this is why it's so important to change the state of the application through mutations, and also why we cannot add asynchronous code within mutations. This is the benefit that we get when following this practice, and trust me, this can be a lifesaver when you need to debug some weird bug in a large application.